In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to set up a design section, building section using Revit. And so let's go in. I've got a east-west section right here. I'm going to use this one right there. And you'll notice it cuts to the bathroom. We'll see the bathroom in elevation. Cuts to the elevator here, the elevator shaft, and then it also cuts through the stairs. We'll see these bank of storefront right here and the windows on the, so it should be a pretty good section, kind of showing us the interior spaces of the building. Now that's the thing to remember, is that a building section, a design section, is to show us actually the volumes of the building and the relationships vertically. Very similar to a floor plan. I mean, the floor plan is supposed to do the same thing on the horizontal. Design section is supposed to show us what's happening vertically with spaces and spatial relationships. So what we want to do is modify this from a construction section to a design section. And the first thing I'm going to do is post shade the walls. Okay, so I'm going to take this down to from medium. Yeah, medium would be good. We'll keep it at medium, and then I'm going to change the post shade of a lot of the different surfaces. And I'm going to do that the same way I did the floor plan walls. So I'm going to go into visibility graphics, and the first ones I know that I want to change are going to be the walls. So I'm going to click on walls here and do an override, and I'll override with a fill, and I'm going to use a dark gray this time just so that you can see the difference between a black and a dark gray. So I'm going to apply that. And then floors are definitely another thing that if they're cut. Now once again, what I'm affecting is the cut, the pattern override, which is the override of the cut through the surface. So if the surface is not cut, it's not going to be shaded with this gray. And then let's see, I know I'm going to do floors, and I know I'm going to do ceilings. So I'm coming here and do ceilings again. And then let's take a look at that and see what the impact is. Okay, apply. And we can see here's the gray, there's a floor, there's a wall. And you'll see though that the line work is still there. Okay, if I want the line work to disappear, then I'm either going to have to change. I think if I go to course, you'll see all the internal line work disappear. If I want all the line work to disappear, then I need to change the line work to the same color as the background, and then of course it won't appear. But course is a good way to do that. The only problem with course is that our sections on our structure, we no longer see the profiles of those. So as you can see, the course for this is set differently. I'm going to go back to a medium because I really want the detail of the structural profiles. But structure hasn't been cut, so we need to profile that. This is actually a beam. Okay, this is actually made with a beam rather than a floor system. And of course the topping is a floor system, so it's there. So let's go in now, and we can see right here where the shaft is cutting through the roof. We can see that shaft right there, and the same thing with the shaft here. I've got a couple of shafts in here, one right there and one right there, and going to the floor. One thing we might notice is that I didn't put the stair in here yet. Probably need to do that. But also these walls here should probably go all the way down, and I can go back and reset the height constraint over here to basement, or I can just, in the section here, I can just grab that wall and bring it down and snap it to the finished floor there, and I could do the same thing here. So that's a quick way. Now I'm only affecting that particular wall. If there's additional walls, such as, let's see, is there another wall right here? Yes. as we can see it by that. So sometimes this is good, but sometimes you can miss elements or miss walls that really need to extend. Okay, so let's go back and do the structural elements. So I'm going to go back into Edit Visibility Graphics, go down here to Structure, and we've got structural framing. So I'm going to override the structural framing. And override the foundations. And so as you can see, this is really just a lot of clicking. There's not anything difficult about it. Okay, so now I'm going through the foundations. They're being cut, and the structural elements are being cut. Even this, even though it's fairly small and you can't see it. Now, the other thing is this is a design section, and you'll notice my topography here is in the form of an earth symbol, which is great for construction documents, but for a design section, not so exciting to me. So what I'm going to do is go back in and edit, and I'm going to change the topography here. And the topography, I'm actually going to go to a black, so we can see once again the contrast between the two. And solid, apply, okay. And so now this is black, and I may or may not like that. One thing you may notice is right here is that for some reason the black is not going up to the foundation, and that's tied to this surface, this pad that we put in to create that. And I don't know if this is a bug or whatever. One thing that I did to resolve that is I did a height offset here. I'm just going to do a height offset of 1 foot and apply that. Then that brought that up, okay, but it's in the wrong location. It really should be at the bottom of the finished floor here. So I'm going to go back and set this to 0. And when I do, it fixed it. Who knows why? I'm assuming it's just a bug, but that did it. The other thing is the pad right there. So I probably want to go back into, once again, Edit Visibility, and I think that's in Site. Pads, there we go. Override, and we'll override that with black too. So this is just going through and, making stuff. We can't see our line work here, so maybe black isn't the best idea, but we'll leave it for right now to move on. I'm going to fix some of these so that they're all, first of all, the same height, put them below the grid so that they're all matching the grid. Move this one up so it locks with those others. My text here really needs to be out some, so I'm going to grab one of those, and they're all locked together, so I'm just going to pull them out here so that once again we can't see my line work right there. So what I probably want to do is make this a slight gray instead of black. Oh, what the hell, we'll just go in here and do that right now. Topography, override, black, and we'll pick a darker gray, something maybe right in there. And we need to do that with our pad too. So as you can see, a lot of this is just coming in and tweaking colors, pochets, and so forth to get the, that's still a little better, not great, but I can make another decision on that. Here I want this side to be equal to this side, so I'm going to pull in my override there, and these lines are way too far out and they're going to print, so I'm going to bring them into right there. It looks a lot better. Let's go ahead and bring this one in. Now I can see that there are things that I need to complete. The stairs needs to go all the way to the roof. I need a housing for that. Of course, that can't be open. Same thing with the elevator. if this roof is habitable, the elevator is going to have to go all the way to the top. But I'll worry about that later. Right now, I seem to have everything in pretty good shape. So we can kind of begin to see the volumes of the building inside and get a good feel for it. So that's how you set up a section for a design section. And now, last thing is I want to turn off that line, so I'm going to hide the crop region. Okay, and so I can now pull this over into my sheet.